Hey guys, Jennifer here with the Family Fudge and welcome to Bunches of Lunches. Now first off, sorry there was no video last week. That's because we were off on a big family adventure. The kids got to go on their very first cruise ship and we stopped at lots of different cities in Alaska. Now guys, even though we all ended up getting really seasick on some of the days, it was really fun and we saw so much. So friends, now that we're back home for lunches this week, I couldn't resist turning all of those memories into fun school lunches for the kids. And the best part is, since I'm short on time this week, all of these lunches are going to be super quick and easy to make with no cooking required. So friends, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, come along with us on this adventure, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you love family travel and fun lunch ideas. Okay guys, starting with lunch number 1. Now like I said, we spent the first part of this trip exploring Seattle and beyond. We got to check out Pike Place Market, and no, when we were there, they were not throwing fish at all. We also got to see the famous troll under the bridge, and we even took a ferry out to Olympic National Park. This was such a fun but long day out in nature. We definitely don't see mountains and trees like these back in Florida. And speaking of mountains and trees, did you know that this area of Washington is often called a Bigfoot hotspot? Locals say that sightings, tracks, and strange noises are reported here regularly. So in honor of that, I thought it would be super fun to make today's lunch Bigfoot themed. So for the main course, you know I've got to make a Bigfoot sandwich. And since this lunch is going to be for my son Jackson, I'm gonna go with ham and cheese for the filling. And fun fact, you guys, did you know Washington has more reported Bigfoot sightings than any other state? Now I think this must be true because when I was out and about at stores and shops, they actually had Bigfoot themed souvenirs everywhere. Okay guys, now moving on to the fruit and veggie. For the fruit, I'm going to pack some forest berries. According to locals, many Bigfoot sightings happen around berry patches in Washington. People say berries must be Bigfoot's favorite food. And then for the veggies, I'm going to add in some broccoli trees. Since Bigfoot is known to be deep in the forest, I thought some trees would be perfect for this lunch. And just for fun, I'm going to add some Bigfoot-shaped carrots to decorate the top. And I do have some ranch on the side, of course. Next, for a salty snack, I'm going to add in some veggie chips. Now, these aren't really related to Bigfoot. I just know that Jackson loves these, so I'm adding plenty over here. But then for a second snack, I'm going to add in some mountain trail mix. Now, we did a little bit of hiking in the mountains here, and I'd say if you want to see Bigfoot, you're going to have to take a hike in the mountains too. And I think this trail mix would be the perfect snack to bring with you. Next, for a sweet treat on the side, I'm going to add in some Bigfoot bites. Now these are really just some pumpkin spice donut holes, but I think they are the right color for Bigfoot, so I'm adding them in. And then last but not least, for the drink, I'm adding in some swamp juice. Now technically this is actually a green smoothie. It has apples and pears, but there's also spinach in here and broccoli, but surprisingly, kids love it. This swamp juice definitely looks like something you might find in Bigfoot's hidden forest hideout. And there you have it, guys. That is everything in our Bigfoot themed lunch. Let me know in the comments down below if you believe in Bigfoot. Okay guys, next up I'm making— uh-oh you guys, the power just went out. And honestly, living here in Florida, that happens more often than you would think, especially with hurricane season and storms rolling through all summer. And I love that I don't have to stress about the power anymore now that we have the Jackery solar generator HomePower 3000 on standby. This has been such a relief during the outages. This guy can keep our fridge running and our food fresh for up to 2 days straight. That means no spoiled food and no wasted groceries, which is a huge deal, especially with kids. And you guys, it's literally plug and play. No complicated setup at all. I can move it around all by myself, and in an extended power outage, I can even hook it up to solar panels to recharge it and keep us going. So even when the weather gets rough and the power's out, I know our food is safe. Now let's get back to those lunches, and I want to thank Jackery for partnering with me on today's video. If you want to check out the HomePower 3000, I'll have a link in the description box below. After we left Seattle, our whole extended family boarded the Carnival Luminosa for the kids' very first cruise. You guys, let me know in the comments down below if you've ever been on a cruise before, and if you haven't, where would you like to go? Now you guys, this ship is a little bit on the older side, and with our size family, we couldn't fit in one room, so we had to have 2 separate cabins, one for the girls and one for the boys. And if you didn't know, one of the most fun traditions on cruise ships is to decorate your cabin door. On a cruise ship, many of the walls and the doors are magnetic, and you're allowed to use magnets to hang up your decorations. For the girls' room, we went with a Halloween/Taylor Swift theme. And as you can see, all of our decorations are a little bit spooky, but still really cute, and they're all puns from Taylor Swift songs, just like today's lunch is going to be. And in case you were wondering, for the boys' room, of course, they went with a Bigfoot theme. Not only did these decorations make it easier for us to find our rooms on our big ship, but they also made other cruisers laugh as they walked by, which is exactly what I was going for. So now back to our spooky era themed lunch. First up, I'm going to make a ghost-shaped sandwich. And you guys, all of the lunches this week are going to be sandwiches because they're quick and easy and my kids love them. For this one, I decided to go with some egg salad. This is just our basic recipe that we always make. It's simple, but it's classic, and because this lunch is going to be for my daughter Mackenzie, I know she's going to love it. She loves egg salad, she loves Halloween, and of course she loves Taylor Swift. And check it out, you guys, these little ghouls are living their best red spooky era life. Next, for the fruit, I'm adding some tart green apple slices, and I'm just using my crinkle cutter to make them extra cute. It's me. Hi, I'm the snack. It's me. Oh yes, and to keep these from turning brown in the lunchbox, I like to soak them for a few minutes in some water with a bit of salt in it, and that really helps them to not turn brown. Next, for the veggies, we've got some Karma is My Cat carrots. Of course, we love black cats on Halloween, but these ones are going to be orange, and I'm not going to forget the ranch to go with them. Now, moving on to the snack, I had to include some Look What You Made Me Boo chips. These are ghost and bat shaped. They're actually veggie chips, and they are the perfect spooky bite for this lunch. And you guys, in addition to the chips, I'm also going to add some little old cheese. Well, technically it is a Baby Bell cheese, and I'm going to hide the ranch right under it. And then for a very special sweet treat, I picked up some witch hats. Now these are actually from Target, and they're basically a little waffle cone filled with peanut butter, then dipped in chocolate. Now these are a little bit melted, but they really do look like little witch hats. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in a separate container, and I'm just gonna add a few. I'll add 1, 2, 3, let's go witch. And now to finish off this lunch for the drink, I'm adding some midnight moo juice. Yes, this is just chocolate milk, but to make this a little bit more fun, I'm going to take off the label, and then using a Sharpie, I'm just gonna draw on a little ghost. The perfect way to end a spooky era lunch. And you guys, don't forget to let me know down below, which cabin decorations do you like the best? Do you like the Bigfoot theme or the spooky era theme? Okay guys, moving on to lunch number 3. While on the cruise ship itself, the days were pretty calm, but some of the nights were super rough. We definitely needed our motion sickness medicine. As we were cruising through Alaska, we did stop at several different ports, and one of them was called Skagway. Now we only had a few hours in Skagway, and since it was on a Sunday morning, our family members wanted to visit a church while we were there, so we did that, and then right after, we found the store of our people. Yes, I mean the fudge store. Then we also visited a town called Ketchikan, and while we were there, we went up a place called Creek Street to see the salmon run. Now this area was super busy with people, but it was also very beautiful, and we did get to see lots of salmon along the way. Now today's lunch is going to be inspired by all of those Alaskan adventures, minus the seasickness part. For the main course, I'm going to make kind of a salmon sandwich. Since this area is known for their salmon, I should be making a sandwich filled with salmon, but since this lunch is actually for my daughter Lily, and there's no way she would be okay with that, I'm just gonna make her a good old PB&J. And you guys, these sandwiches in real life are a little bit on the small side, so to make them a little bit more filling, I'll often make them a triple-decker sandwich, just like this one. Oh yes, and to make this extra cute, I did make a little stamp for the top. And since I always get questions about the stamps that I use, I'll go ahead and let you know that I actually make them myself, and I have a little Etsy store where I sell them. I'll go ahead and link it down below just if you're curious. And there you have it, a salmon-themed sandwich without the actual salmon. Now moving on to the fruit, I'm adding both blueberries and blueberry yogurt. Alaska is famous for their wild berries, and while we were there, I saw a lot of blueberry-themed treats and huckleberry-themed treats too. and on top of the yogurt, I thought it would be really cute to add just a couple of yellow star sprinkles. The Alaskan flag is blue with yellow stars too, but I'm just gonna add a few in here. Next, for the veggies, I'm making something called fish in a stream. Now these are kind of like the classic ants on a log, but with a twist. I'm gonna put plain celery on the bottom, but then on the top I have just a few that instead of filling with peanut butter, I'm gonna fill with garden veggie cream cheese. And then instead of topping them with raisins, I'm going to top them with some goldfish crackers. So it kind of looks like fish swimming up the stream, just like we saw in Ketchikan. And speaking of fish, of course for the salty snack, I'm gonna add even more goldfish crackers, but this time I'm using the giant ones because those are Lily's favorite. And then for the sweet treat, I'm going to pack some little sugar donuts because there are some pretty unique donuts in Alaska. Before our trip, I'd heard of a place called Klondike Doughboy, and they're known for a treat that's kind of like a big flat donut that they cover in sugar. Now, unfortunately, when we visited, it was a Sunday and they were closed, so we didn't get to try it. And then in other places, we actually saw a salmon flavored donut. We also weren't brave enough to try that one either. But let me know in the comments down below, would you try a salmon donut? Now you guys, to go along with the donut sweet treat, I'm also going to add in just a small chocolate gold coin. And this is just a little nod to Alaska's gold rush history. We got to learn all about it while we were on the ship. And then lastly, for the drink, I got something really special for Lily she doesn't normally get to have. This is a Ridge Rush Olipop. I love the mountains on here. They totally look like the ones we saw on our Alaskan adventures. During our cruise, there were several days where we were at sea for the entire day. And on this day right here, we happened to be near a glacier. And you guys, this was one of my favorite days. We had calm, icy blue waters. We got to see big chunks of ice floating by. There were beautiful mountains and trees. And I didn't get it on camera, but we did get some quick glimpses of whales in the distance. Today's lunch is definitely glacier inspired. First up, I'm making a cruise ship sandwich. I'm adding a little bit of mayo and mustard since this lunch is going to be for my son Griffin and he loves mustard. Then I'm just going to add some turkey and some provolone cheese. I'm gonna try my best to make this sandwich look like the ship that we sailed on. Next, for the fruit, I'm going to add some Glacier grapes. Now, these are actually nice, tart green grapes that I froze overnight, so they should still be a little bit slushy by lunchtime. Now, if you've never tried frozen grapes before, they really are a fun treat. Now, keeping with our icy theme, for the vegetable, I'm going to add some snowflake-shaped cucumbers, and to go along with them, I'm adding some ranch. Next, for snack number one, I'm adding some cheese cube iceberg bites. Now these are actually sharp white cheddar cheese, but they definitely are inspired by the icebergs that we saw. And then for snack number two, I had to include some whale crackers. Now these are a lot like goldfish cheese crackers, but of course these are whale-shaped ones, and I usually find these at either Walmart or Aldi. And then you guys, for a very simple but tasty sweet treat, I'm going to add some frozen pretzels. Now technically these are yogurt covered pretzels, but they are so good. They're a little bit sweet and salty and crunchy. They're just the best. And then for the drink, you know I had to go with some Glacier water, which is technically some blue Gatorade. And that's it for this week's lunches, all inspired by our trip to Alaska. Thank you so much for watching.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back for more fun lunches.